Is eating burgers and sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night the secret to stay healthy while traveling all around the country, giving speeches, and even recover from an assassination attempt at the age of 78? Today we're gonna analyze the health habits and routines from one of the most controversial president candidates ever, Mr. Donald Trump. I've taken a look at his daily routine, his health and performance habits, and even his weekly schedule. First of all, this is hilarious. At the point I record this video, I took a look at his ready schedule for the next days. Look at this, guys. Today he's in Pennsylvania, tomorrow North Carolina. The same day later he's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. On Thursday he visits New Mexico. Later that same day, Nevada. On Friday in Milwaukee, and on Saturday he's in Virginia. In the Joe Rogan podcast a few days ago, he reported that he didn't take a day off for 56 days. So what's his secret to optimizing his health and performance? We're gonna dive deep into it in this video. Welcome everyone to this video. My name is Marvin. I'm a health and performance coach for top-level entrepreneurs and expert for biohacking and data-driven health optimization. And from that standpoint, worked with a lot of entrepreneurs. I will today analyze Donald Trump's health habits and routines for you. First of all, this is purely from a standpoint of health and performance, so we won't get involved in any political discussions. But why especially talk about Donald Trump today? Why not Obama or even Joe Biden? We can be sure that the job and also the daily schedule from the President of the United States should be really intense. And I have some really shocking pictures for you about the impact on the health and body from such an intense job. Because of course, in this position, you're gonna be sleep deprived. You're gonna have extraordinary levels of stress, and this will let some impact on your health. If we compare pictures from former presidents like Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and even Joe Biden, it's shocking how much a person can age even in a few years. But if we have a look on Donald Trump, obviously it didn't have such a visible impact on his health. Doesn't mean he is healthy and in this field really optimized. Well, to be honest, I didn't see his blood work. And of course, I would be crazy interested in seeing his blood work results. So I can't really tell you if he maybe has some serious health issues. But obviously, he can perform on this level even at the age of 78 without taking any days off. So what's his exact secret? First of all, let's talk about his fitness. In the podcast episode with Joe Rogan, he mentioned that he was doing extremely well at the fitness test they did with him on the treadmill, so that even the doctors were surprised about his results. So that means he should have a high VO2 max. That's the metric that says how many oxygen the body can use per kilogram per minute. And studies say clearly that the VO2 max is a key predictor for longevity. For example, going from a low VO2 max to just above average is a 60 to 70% reduction in mortality rate over a decade. But the question is, of course, how did he develop this cardiorespiratory fitness? So there's a few factors. First of all, he's a really good and passionate golf player. According to the former professional golfer Jack Nicklaus, quote, he loves the game of golf more than he loves money. And his handicap is as low as 2.8. And he began playing golf during his college time at Fordham. And according to CNN, Trump played golf at least every 5 days. For example, Obama played about every 12 to 13 days. And whoever says golf is not a sport, I would encourage you to try out. It's more intense than you think. Even for a person like me who's working out 5 to 6 times per week, it's still an intense sport. For example, if you play one 18-hole golf round, you will walk between 11,000 and 17,000 steps. Of course, when you don't drive a golf caddy. If you do so, you're still walking 6,000 steps on average. And he also says, and I think this is a really important factor, it clears his mind.
Golf, as you get older, there's something really good about it. And you have competition with your friends. And,
Concentration.
Another huge benefit of playing golf is, of course, being outside, which is a huge underrated fact. There's this powerful combination of First of all, being in the sun. So that means you see daylight and you also increase your vitamin D production, as well as seeing the color green, because obviously you are surrounded by a lot of green colors and nature. And what's interesting, that just seeing green color increases the production of the neurotransmitter GABA, which is responsible for being calm and so far optimizes your sleep. Another big factor is not just his passion for golf, but interestingly, his job itself. As I used to say, as an entrepreneur, you are a decision-making athlete. And Donald Trump is the perfect example for that. Right now, a lot of his exercise comes from his campaigns, and it is also known that he's using a lot of motion during his speeches. According to the Compendium of Physical Activities, if Trump gesticulated for an entire 45-minute speech, he burns about 120 to 160 calories. And to compare that, a lot of entrepreneurs I work with sometimes work up to 12 hours a day and therefore sitting way more than 12 hours every single day. That's a lot of inactivity for these people. That's, for example, why I recommend some of my clients to use a small treadmill under their desk to hit the needed movement on a daily basis. Another major point that a lot of people talk about is his sleep habits, because it is reported that he is sleeping just 4 to 5 hours per night. And interestingly, he isn't a coffee addict. He reports that he doesn't need any kind of coffee. But to make that clear for you guys, sleeping that less will be for 99% of the population just pure robbery on the body. First of all, your hormone levels will drop, your body fat will increase, and your brain won't be able to execute the most important task as an entrepreneur, making good decisions. And this is also what studies clearly show, the correlation between sleep deprivation and worse decision-making skills. That's why optimizing sleep is one of the major pillars of my service, which I do to my clients. And improving this, we've seen huge results in improving mood, body fat, blood work, and even happiness. But there's still this one open question. How does Donald Trump survive with just 4 to 5 hours sleep per night? Well, his secret is called ADRB1. Unfortunately, this is not a new supplement that we can take, but it's more a genetic variation and mutation. And researchers from San Francisco found out that people with this genetic mutation can sleep between 4 to 6 hours every night without having any negative side effects of sleep deprivation. But unfortunately, there are just a few chosen ones that will have this benefit, because just about 1% of the population have this genetic variation. So the chance that you will have this competitive advantage will be 99 to 1. What about his nutritional habits? It is reported that he was eating burger on a regular basis and even was supporting McDonald's recently. But from my experience, working with more than 300 clients over the past years, I can tell you that there's a huge gap between what people obviously eat and what you think they eat and what they really eat. We tend to look to other people and think, well, this guy is eating like crap, but he's still doing good. First of all, you don't really know if he's doing good until you see his real blood work. And that means you don't have any information what is going on inside the body. And secondly, you don't know exactly what he's eating during the day. Maybe you see him eating a burger, but maybe the majority of the time he's following a well-structured nutrition plan. And the problem with nutrition is that most of the people make decisions and judgments about healthy or not so healthy diets just based on feelings and emotions, but not on real supporting data. And unfortunately, a lot of fitness coaches do the same too. But nutrition is not that simple. Just because someone thinks that he's eating healthy doesn't mean that he really does. For example, when I ask some client, hey, how's your nutrition going? And he will say, yeah, I'm eating healthy. Okay, what does that mean? Like, what does healthy looks like for you? Yeah, I sometimes eat salad. Yeah, I try to avoid sugars. But unless you don't know exactly what is going on inside the body and you made a whole assessment on his whole nutritional behaviors, you can't even know. This is exactly the reason why I include gut health analysis with my clients, which is telling us then which food sources are best for them. For example, for some people, eggs might be a superfood based on their gut health results. For other people, other food sources might be. And just because you see Donald Trump publicly eating burgers doesn't mean that he's doing that all day long. Some sources report that he's preferring eggs with bacon for breakfast, which can be beneficial as a combination of proteins and fat without any sugar or carbohydrates. So 1 point for the president. Some sources also report that he's a huge fan of steaks. So if that fits for his body type, his nutrition habits now look a little bit different than most of the media reports. Some sources also say that he hasn't eaten a burger for 2 weeks and he has swapped his usual routine for soup and salads. And that's what I want to tell you. We just don't know what he's actually eating. And until we don't have crystal clear information, it's more an opinion than a real fact. And that's why I'm doing a huge assessment with my clients, including medical testing and a detailed report of their caloric intake. And that's why I would love to work with Trump, just to have the insights and to see what his real diet looks like. So if you see this, Mr. Trump, hit me a DM or just book your free consultation right on the link below.
Hello, Marvin Koenig, my friend Marvin. I really want to work with you. Best practices in the world, I heard. So please send me the invoice to the White House administration. Thank you, Marvin.
I hope you liked that video. If so, let me know in the comments below. And if you are an entrepreneur who want to optimize his health and performance through biohacking, then subscribe to that channel. That's it for today. See you soon.